Hey, folks. No, I forgot to do. I forgot to announce that I'm live. One second. Ooh, here we are. Okay, everyone, I'm live, and I didn't change the title of this video, but who cares? Okay, right? Because what I think is going to happen on Bitcoin hasn't really changed all that much. So let's dive right into it and pop over to Bitcoin. Let's talk about this weird move. Okay, right? Because I woke up a little bit surprised this morning. You know, I'm still half Tether, half Bitcoin, and my positions are actually in BNB and AST at the moment. Those are my two scalping coins, or rather, the coins that I best know for their kinds of volatility, right? Or rather, they best respect the rules that I like to follow for my kind of trading. So, here we are on Bitcoin. I need to pop down to the 1 hour chart to get a good understanding of this. Okay. Beautiful. And actually, this plays out beautifully. Oh my god. Christ, I wish I was awake 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours ago. Because, well, let's take a look at this candle, right? We defined that exactly the 200 period was going to be our pivot point for expansion or compression, okay? As long as we're expanding to the downside, we're getting a downward trend, okay? So we cannot go inside the 200 band. If we go inside the 200 band, well, that means we need to return to the center of the data. Now, guess what happened, guys? Price moved laterally, and it tried to go inside the band and it failed. So, selling pressure was forced to win, and the downward trend continued. Okay? Then, guess what happened? Price trickled sideways, sideways, sideways. It went up, and guess how many times it tested? Actually, I kind of want to do this in the 15-minute chart to get an even more accurate reading. No, that might not be that pretty. Okay. But look at this, my friends. We test that 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and as soon as we get a candle close inside, guess what happens? Mean reversion to the relative most overexpanded period. Like clockwork. Okay, guys? As soon as we are enter this band, price needs to revert to the center of data. This was a very tradable event, right? Well, it's not something you can necessarily set up beforehand, because what you would actually need to do is need to set a buy alert on the reentry of the band, and technically that is automatable, right? If you're using something like AutoView, but it's hard to handle and manage the wicks for this kind of buying pressure. So this absolutely 100% was tradable, because as soon as that pivot was crossed, you had a strong buy opportunity. Why? Because now your target should be 3,880. Okay, so price is liable to trend as defined by this most overexpanded period. And what would that look like for us? Okay, that means price can trade laterally as defined by this band. So at this time, I'm going to predict we're going to get a lateral trading range as defined by 3,600 to 4,100. Okay, guys? This 500, how big is this range, right? All right, yeah, that's a 14% range. So this range is going to be very scalpable. Immediately, we should anticipate a return to this pink moving average right here. All right, we're going to get some buying pressure to push it up to that value. It might reject, it might not. Really, this is going to be a bit of a no man's land, at least for lateral trading. And if you want to buy on the bottom edge of the band and sell the top, that is definitely at your disposal. Okay? So really, this is a fantastic chart. As soon as that pivot was crossed, we had a very high probability trade. And even if you get the right CCI roll up, right? So down here, if we get this to pop down and come back up, yeah, you can take your nice long position to that relative moving average. Okay? So come to think of it, I probably should have put a buy stop really just above that moving average there. Hindsight is 2020, right? But I did expect to continue a sustained trend. I did not expect that this band would actually catch up to price so quickly. So this pivot actually reached price within, a single day, right? As compared to this overexpansion, well, if we look closely, this selling pressure wasn't as strong as the previous one, which results in a more lateral move than what we had previously got, right? So because this move wasn't as strong as the previous one, price sort of trickled along sideways a little bit to the upside and allowed that pivot to catch up to price much more quickly. And I did not anticipate that. So this actually came our way very fast. It's a nice chart. You know, after this period of compression, I'm still going to expect a trend down to the weekly 200 moving average. However, downward moves right below the previous local low is very improbable right now. Okay? And I mean very improbable. So if you actually want to set up some kind of trade like this, where you have, I guess I could do horizontal lines to represent this, where you can set a buy range from here to here, right? And just have that a nice buffered buy range, and then set a stop loss below the local low, and then you can just layer sell orders all the way up to 4,100, right? That's going to be a very strong position for you, because most likely price action is going to do something like this, okay? Just anticipate the lateral range. It's going to be very nice trading. This is a very overexpanded band. I do recommend catching some scalps in this range, and I will try to announce some altcoin positions for you here as well. Okay? No further ado, let me dive into the comments and see how you guys are doing today. Beautiful. All right, I got a question from Dominic. USD CAD, please. Upward mean reversion or continued downward trend? It's a good question. Let's go check it out. If I recall correctly, USD CAD already had a mean reversion and should now trade laterally. That's just from my memory, though. Let's actually take a look at the chart. Gotta wait for my periods to load up here. Okay. I'm actually just going to wait for my adaptive MA. Should take just a second. 220. Okay, 1 second. Oh yeah, folks, don't forget to like the video. It's very helpful. Okay. Yeah, right now mean reversion is implied. So whenever you have a CCI rollup, like, oh, I don't know, that's not quite the right period. We should adjust that. Look for a 20 period CCI, okay? 22, excuse me. Yeah, no signal yet, but as soon as we get a CCI rollup, probably going to see a bit of a dip here, and as soon as that does return to the upside, you can expect reversion to that pink line there. So yeah, this downward trend does appear to be over, at least for the short term. Do keep in mind we still can trade laterally as defined by the bottom edge of that band there. Okay, so it is a pretty nice chart. I like it. Lucian says, can you take a look at Vibe and how it made that move? Sure. I can do that for you. Need to alphabetize my list again. Okay. V is for Vibe. Nice. 42%. Wow, I had a call on this last week. You guys probably already took profit, though. Let's take a look. Yeah. You know, because we had this nice retracement over here. Yeah, and you probably took profit on this upward move. But it's kind of sad that now that we have this huge breakout. That's just probably something fundamental, guys. I'm not seeing any driving technical sides of this to actually cause this sort of move. I guess we can define retracement values for you. That will be effective. But I'm going to be honest, those values are going to change very quickly. Yeah. Right now, your retracement value is going to be around here, around 890. That's probably going to change, I don't know, another 10% over the next coming day. So this kind of adaptive value is really going to be more of a judgment call on your part. Or at least if you have the adaptive MA band, well, I would recommend using that to get it. But in its current state, I can't call anything over here. I'm going to do BCHSV, sure thing. What an odd chart. It's a very volatile range, that's for sure. Okay. This might be scalpable. This overexpansion is pretty small, though. So I have to go a shorter time frame. No. This isn't really catching my attention, folks. Yeah, since we're already inside this pivot and it's still implied that we need to trade laterally. So this trend is already no longer defined. So I wouldn't play with this at all. 18 viewers. Hi, guys. Thank you. Cairo has a theoretical question. Would overhead contraction matter as much as overhead expansion? Any overhead expanded pivots are bad, aren't they? I really know how to answer that, mate. You're using terms I haven't even defined. Let's see. No, not every overhead pivot is bad, per se. And overhead contraction isn't really a tradable metric, I suppose. So that's a bit hard for me to answer. Cat with charts, do you just want me to mash QQQ into the ticker? Because I think that's what you want me to do, right? And I'll check Ethereum here real quick. TRX is popping off again. My mind, was this a failed mean reversion? I guess we can do this in terms of trend definition for the CCI roll. Yeah, that would be the best bet right there. That's clean. Okay, and then for this downward move, I guess we can also define what that pivot was. Let's switch that to the 80 band real quick, okay? And the 200 here. Perfect. Actually, that's really clean as far as retracement value goes. I like that. All right, since as soon as we ran out of this value, it was implied we go down to this moving average. We bounced exactly off that moving average. And guess what? Now we're seeing resistance on the top edge of the overexpanded band because price will trade laterally as defined by it. That is bizarre. All right? Well, this trade actually worked out perfectly for 16% scalp. That's really clean. I like it. Nothing too tradable here at the moment. Unless actually, yeah, you can actually take some pretty nice trades here. You can set up shorts at the top edge of this band back down to the moving average. But anything else than that, I would not touch, okay? Because that is very clean. Probably going to expect this to flag out here. And the top edge of that 80 band is going to be the pivot. Okay, well, let's just wait for any of the indicators to load. Come on, buddy. Just waiting for the adapt FMA. Give it a second. Nice. Hey, man. This trend is defined in a downward motion. You know what this chart is, mate. Whenever you have a CCI roll down and with the implied mean reversion, sure, those are good short entries. Yeah, this is still a good opportunity to short, mate. Great short opportunity. And then if we use this as like our overexpanded pivot from the 4 hour, including the volatility overhead, yeah. Even with that CCI roll down, this is a really good short entry. Nice chart, mate. What are you hoping for here, man? What? You want me to draw a falling wedge around this price? Because I will, but I won't believe in it. Okay, I'll draw the falling wedge for you. If it makes you feel better. Oh, goodness. We got ourselves a falling wedge, guys. Did you look at that? Is that what you wanted? I don't know. It's a downward trend. I wouldn't trade it until, well, there's a nice breakout and implied mean reversion, but, you know, I'm not seeing it yet. Okay, we can trade something here as defined by the 200 period, though. You know, I just don't want to bet against such a strong downtrend. Yeah. Sure, we'll probably see the mean breakout eventually, but there's really nothing I actually want to try or change all that much here yet. Sure, this will probably break out and I'll probably miss it, but it's not the kind of chart I want to trade. Yeah, great days. That TRX short would be a very a quick position to the downside, right? Because we would just be shorting off the top edge of that band there. How did I define it? 4 hour chart? Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, so if you want a short TRX, you would need to do so from 697, and then you would just have it retrace down to the 80 moving average, okay? But this is very scalpable. Yeah, okay. You want me to go back to that chart, don't you? Okay, hold on. Sure. Let's check the weekly chart. Or the daily. We didn't do the daily, I guess. Hey, man, this would be a really nice swing high position. Yeah, that retracement value. Yeah, sustained downward trend is implied. You know, if you are able to catch the swing high in the start of a crash pattern, go for it. I think it was December 10th where we called that this was going to be the same performance as the crash pattern here, right? Yeah, it's called, the live stream was called Bitcoin's downtrend is running on fumes, and I actually compared it to this here. Lo and behold, they're very similar. So, yeah, if this is the swing high, you can enter a very high profit short down to that weekly 200 moving average at 12% gain. It's a good chart, guys. Consider it. All right, get your final questions in. I'm going to look at Ethereum, and then whatever left you've got for me, and then I'll be on my way, okay? Christ, the weekly chart for Ethereum is just ugly. What kind of gain is this? I want to figure that out. It's 200%. That's fine. Oh my god, did we hit our retracement value on the nose? Now it's the 220 period it's looking like. And I think I have this set up to the 200. So, let's see if this bounced off from where it was supposed to. Okay? Mother of hell. Jesus. Look at this, guys. As soon as we re-enter 220 period, we revert to the 220 moving average, and now we will trade laterally as defined by the 220 period. That's insane. All right, so if you want to get some shorts ready at 38,500, that's going to be a very good bet for you. Since if we do tag these upper values, it's very unlikely that trend will continue out beyond the overexpanded band. Okay? And then, well, that's going to be a huge short. Because this band is just huge. That's 15% drop. With the proper leverage, that's going to be insane. I'm actually going to set an alert for myself so I can actually call this once that does occur. Okay? Because if we do run up and touch that value, I'm going to short this heavily. It's a very nice chart. Yeah. You know, since we bounced directly on our retracement value, we can't expect this to run up to the top edge of its relative band. And once I get a CCI roll down off that value, if and when, that's going to be a great short opportunity. Yeah, but for, I guess I should point it out one last time. I'm going to look at the TRX short again, just so you guys have a clear picture, because it's actually going to be the same kind of trade as Ethereum. And these are going to be smaller scalp positions, okay? So from this value on Ethereum, and then for TRX, yeah, just from around the 700 value, okay? And I'm going to set up this alert too, so we can get those shorts ready for you guys, okay? Because I will call these if the alerts go off. Very nice. All right, folks, I'm not seeing too many other questions here. So I am going to be on my way. Let's see. Cairo, I'm sorry I couldn't answer your question a little bit better. You know, I can recommend you go ahead to our YouTube channel and watch our 5-part video series on our indicators. Just follow the links in the description or click on our video channel, and it will actually take you all the way over to our new video series, right? It's over an hour of content on how to use our indicators. And, you know, if you have a lot of these questions about, you know, how to actually use the indicators, then that would be a great place to start, okay? If if you want even more information on that or the indicator application, of course you can jump over to our website and purchase the Fishing Academy, where I am doing lessons. Lesson 4 will be uploaded tomorrow for all of you guys who are actually still in the lessons. So it has been a pleasure, and I'll talk to all you guys later. Like the video, please. See ya.